Hello everyone, something different today. So this video is about last Epoch, which is also a really cool game I like. Kind of reminds me of Path of Exile, but this season even more reminds me of Path of Exile 1. Um, the season launched just yesterday, and I wanted to make a quick video about a build I've been playing. So planning myself and experimenting. Haven't watched a single guide yet, and I have no idea if people also play the same way I play. But I'm playing Forge Guard with Warpath because after Path of Exile 2, I was thinking that I want something really simple. That's like one button, and as you see, it looks cool, even without any skill skins that they added. And I'm using dual wield as well. And to show the showcase of the build, how it works, I just got to the Reign of Dragons. I just killed the Lagoon. And let's see the first monolith we do, how we perform. So the monolith level is 85, and the character level is currently 70 something, 71. And the build has been fun, like really fun. As you can see, I just can hold one button down and kill the enemies. And occasionally just cast the Force Strike to deal even more damage. When we run out of mana, we just keep spamming multi-strike. I'll explain later why multi-strike. And well, yeah, the enemies damage here much more than in previous ecos. But also the reason behind it being that I haven't really invested into defenses. Because like the good bases for defensive armors are starting to drop. I don't even have anything forged into legendary yet. So definitely there's a lot of ways how to receive stat boosts. Like even the resistances are kind of bad, like necrotic is absolutely horrible. When I go to the new content of the woven tome that they added, I get absolutely destroyed by the boss who has a like Whirlwind Slash, which does necrotic damage. If I don't touch that, I'm pretty much dead. But yeah. So the build's kind of fun. We use Smite to buff us. As you can see, the Smite procs sometimes. You could increase the proc rate. It's currently like 50% chance each second. I don't see point in proccing it because it's not used to do damage. It's just used to buff us. And here's the two Ventress. Use shield charge to move long distances like this. So they have a lot of very large areas everywhere throughout the campaign, on the echoes, on the quest echoes, in these tombs as well. Just like... Okay, so let's talk about the build itself. We're using Morph Path as our main skill. And when you start off, you want to invest into channel cost reduction. And then probably get some move speed and then focus on damage. So you can find damage here from flat damage here, or just go here. If you have two-handed weapon or dual wielding, this node will give you the most damage. And you then can go here to get benefits according to the weapons that you use. Because I use two swords, I go for base crit chance. And later, when you have enough points to get Smite, and you're like level 50 because you get last slot on level 50, you go Smite and you then convert to fire damage. And also it's like you shouldn't convert to fire damage unless you have like gear ready that will provide you with flat fire damage. And then you also have to make changes on your passive tree. Okay, so the most important notes on the shield rush is to get here as soon as possible, Dark Rush, if you're not using shield. If you have like two-handed weapons or you're dual wielding, go here as fast as possible. So that's gonna be 3 nodes and you're here. Then go mana efficiency and like You don't have to instantly get all 6 points here. You can first get 2 points here. It will allow you to get less damage when you're like trying to dodge some big damage attacks, like on the Lagoon fight when he starts like doing the frozen beam, and you have to cross to the other side. Uh, this will probably save you because it does a lot of damage, but not always. So yeah, and later when you like get above, like you don't really only need 10 points here, but you need to specialize into this skill if you don't have a shield. So there's no real option to use this skill without specialization if you don't have a shield. Going next on Force Strike. It reminds me of Hammer of Gods from Path of Exile 2. It looks fun, and so just go damage. And when you have gone into damage, go also crits and crit multis. Our build is also focusing crit multis. I'm gonna show it later as well. It also stuns, by the way. The stun on the bosses, like I was doing second echo boss, and like first 10 seconds of the fight, the boss was just constantly getting stunned. Which looks kind of funny because it's that bird that does a lot of damage. It not being able to cast any AoEs is funny. Important note here is the detonating ground. So when the Force Strike lands, it also detonates the ground, dealing even more damage. So when we got to multi-strike, we first used the skill to regain mana. But then I started scaling into more attack speed, max stacks, and then going into cast Force Strike. So it became a skill I use to get more single target DPS. I really hope this skill will do even more damage in the future, because currently spinning is as good as just spamming multi-strike to get constant force strikes on the bosses and rare enemies that are like tougher, or the new champion enemies. Then we also use Smite. We proc Smite through here, and we use Smite mainly to buff ourselves. So starting off here, just go here, and as you see, it will give fire damage. So this is also very important step why we want to leave this for the latest change as late as possible, because you should be able to also invest into Smite and benefit from it as much as possible. So that's why we need from here global melee fire damage. Also nice to get some attack and cast speed, and mana regen on heal. So we multi-strike the rare enemies, the Smite procs and gives us mana regen. Also when we Warpath, and it procs Smite, and if we stand close enough to the Smite area, we also get mana regen, which helps with mana sustain. So you can see when you're like running and spinning around, you can see your mana going, that it starts pausing. It's because of the Smite procs. But also like Smite costs mana, so it's just like basically it only covers the cost of itself. These are optional. I first was thinking I might use this because well, it sounds good on paper, but then you realize that your Smite does only so much damage, and the chances of killing enemies with Smite is so low. I will probably take all these points out and explore the possibilities on this side of the tree. But the most important are, yeah, get mana regen, get flat damage, and get attack and cast speed. And that's about all our skills. So when we go to the passive tree, when you start, you focus on physical damage. So you should invest into physical and also strength. The Warpath, as you can see, it scales from strength. So we're gonna also stack strength later. So currently, yeah, get those when you start. But after you can spec out of it. I also tried out the counter attack because I was thinking, okay, I'm gonna spin, then it's gonna hit me, and gonna do passive damage back. Then I realized it's like small amounts. Well, now it's much bigger amounts of damage, but in campaign it felt like nothing. Then also this is a useful node, so damage taken from nearby enemies. So when we spin around something, that's something that deals less damage to us. Also this node to get, I just get it to get longer stun immunity duration. Helps on bosses, just to stand still and tank them. Then we get time and fate. So this is how we regain our mana with multi-strike. So if you use Rive, Vengeance, or Smite, or multi-strike, you get mana back. But yeah, would be too OP if Smite auto-procced the mana gain, so that's why they have that line that says if you directly cast. And then we have Dual Wield, Gladiator. We take more damage, but it looks fun, and it helps to spread out some stats out later. Currently I'm just using it just because it looks fun and I wanted to try it out. And then here I have Sword Tank, the attack and cast speed, so that's also the reason why I use 2 swords. Okay, moving on to Forge Guard. You start off by taking these nodes to get, so you see he gets a lot of benefits, different benefits depending on the weapon we use. We're dual wielding swords, so we benefit from even more attack speed. So the attack speed is not an issue, you shouldn't roll it on gear. Then before I talk about next nodes, we should go to Paladin. As you see, I invested 8 nodes. So this is super good flat damage that you can get early, and also some penetrations, especially because it gets both physical and fire, which makes the transition to pure fire damage much more easy. So yeah, take advantage of these. Moving on. So I get like flat damage from here. Also get some Forge Strike benefits. Moving on to Guardian, you get more health from this node. Also get health regen, and when you invest enough points into these, you get here, which increase. I took it because it increases mana regen. Maybe it also helps us with Forge Guard or like Forge Strike ability. The next interesting one is Might. So again, it just buffs strength, and it also increases our health by a certain percentage. And then we get to the juicy nodes. So flat crit, well, not flat crit, but really good amounts of crit. And then also really good amounts of crit multiplier. And another reason to stack strength to get penetrations. So we can cap out them quite easily. And the later plan is to go here for more damage. So we're not using minions a lot, but this will help also, as you can see. When you directly use a melee area or throwing area ability that costs at least mana, 10 mana, you consume all stacks of Stalwart, causing the ability to deal damage and be in larger area. Well, that's going to be useful on Forge Strike. Don't yet know how it will work with Warpath. Also, if you want to try out, there's this new node that allows you to use a two-handed weapon and a shield at the same time. But it will cause you to do less damage, and also it will make you to get block chance instead of haste, which is very interesting and confusing decision. But yeah, maybe I will try this out later. And the other idea was to go attack speed while dual wielding, but at this point I am not sure. Like, I have so much attack speed, and the parry chance is not something I would want to invest into. So yeah. So that's about the tree. That's about how the build works. It looks real fun, and it looks kind of good without any microtransactions. Going over the gear, so on the amulets, I was lucky and I dropped this amulet that increases damage while channeling. Like, when I start channeling, the damage goes up a lot. So if you get an amulet and you can craft there, increase damage while channeling, really recommend it. I got this new sword. Um, well, it's Weaver's Wool sword, so it's just decided to give me 31 minion damage. I guess thanks for that, but I'm more interested from a flat damage that it gives, less plus 50, also some attack speed, and very important, +1 to melee attacks. You can roll with +2, and it will just give us extra skill points. Now, I don't think that you need to go above 23 on this one. Or like, no, at Smite, like Warpath, you can actually stack because you can get more flat crit chance. But anything else shouldn't require you more than the points that you have. So also an idea that if I get a relic and +2 Warpath, like if I get even more +2 skills, I will probably invest into this node, and when I have like more resistances, and then start investing into this node to get even more damage and bigger area. But we'll see about that later. Going next, I don't really have good gear to show. I also have quite messy setup with relics. Yeah, I have like Warpath area, and I haven't gotten any good relics yet. So I'm just focusing critical strike and critical multiplier relics. And yeah, that's about it. So if you get flat damage, flat crit chance on your sword, it's gonna be real nice. Currently the crit chance is 35. Crit multi is almost 300. Definitely helps. Like, you're gonna crit quite often, and the Forge Strike, we invest into crit, like base crit. So the Forge Strike has around 50% chance, maybe like 45. I hope I will get like to Empowerment Lords tomorrow. And I'll post an update when I get there and to show how it performs. Also show like what kind of gear I have by that time, and if anything important changes from the skills or the entire setup. Currently this is just how I'm have fun. Quite simple, like I literally play with mouse only in most of the time. Just like sometimes just have to click some buttons here. If I had more buttons in the mouse, I would probably just bind everything to the mouse. But yeah. Thank you for watching. We'll keep you updated and see you in the next one.